Hello, I'm doing a video reflection today of my cultural immersion project on the Muslim culture. So the reason that I chose the Muslim culture for my cultural immersion project is because of how negatively this culture has actually been portrayed in the media since September 11th. And I really felt like there was more to the story, and I know that we have a lot of Muslim students on campus, and I was really interested in their story. I had a coworker that teaches a cultural competency class in public health, and he was able to get me in touch with two Muslims within the community. One is actually the president of the Muslim group here in the Tri-Cities area, and his name was Taneen. And then also a pharmacy student at ETSU, and her name was Nasser. And I learned a lot during both of these interviews. This was a very personal experience for me. I think that's why I chose this as one of the highlights of my EDS program. I learned a lot during the interviews. The interview with Taneem, I learned a lot of the background and a lot of the customs and things like that. With Nasser, I kind of learned a little bit more about what it was like to be a student in our community and be a Muslim and how that affected her. And also, she talked about, some cultural norms and things like that as well. But, I felt like with her, the interview was a little more personal. It was more about herself and her personal experience and not just learning about the culture itself. So I got a couple of perspectives there. One of the things that I learned the most from actually didn't come from the interview. It was after my interview with Nasser, and we were at a local coffee shop. And as we were finished with the interview and taking our coffee cups back inside, a young white man yelled at her, "Why don't you go back to your country?" And like, I was shocked. I'd never experienced anything like that before. And I asked her if she was okay, if there was anything I could do, and she said, "It's fine, don't worry about it. It's something I deal with every day. I just have to ignore it." I mean, she was very humble about it. Um, she probably was more fine with it than I was. I went home and cried my eyes out. I felt I'd never experienced anything like that as a white female here in America. I'd never experienced anything like that. And so this project really touched me and helped me see that, different cultures are treated differently, and you really don't understand how they feel and how they're treated until you are right there with them. And you can see it firsthand. And so, some of the goals I have for this project, one was to gain a better understanding of the culture, and I really felt like I did that, especially through the interviews that I conducted. One was so that I would get information that would help me be more culturally competent when I was working with our students, and I feel like that is also true. Although we don't see a lot of Muslim students in the financial aid office, well, actually, I'll be honest, we don't ask religion at the door, so I'm not sure. But, I've never had that be an issue per se, because a lot of them they don't believe in taking out debt and that kind of thing. So typically, if we saw those students, it would be graduate students asking questions about their graduate assistantship or things like that. But, I really feel like that should I have a Muslim student that comes to me and actually says, "This is the issue that I'm having," I would definitely have a better understanding. And then the last thing that was one of my goals was to learn ways that offices on college campuses could be more culturally aware of the needs of Muslim students. And I feel like I really got a taste of that when I did my interview with Nasser. Like one of the ideas she had was that, if there was just a space, a quiet space, she said just the size of a closet for students to go and be able to pray. It doesn't have to be fancy, and it doesn't have to say that it's a prayer room, and it doesn't have to say that it's only for Muslims. Just a space that where they could go and have some privacy and do what they feel that they should do based on their culture. And I thought that was a great idea, especially with the renovation of the DP Culp Center. I think that would be a great thing to interject into there to help some of our students, maybe in the multicultural center or something. That would be a great place. But yeah, I really learned a lot about that in the interviews, and I really enjoyed this project, and I think that it will definitely help me professionally.